Good day, everyone, and welcome to Home at the Hollow. My name is Glennis, and welcome to my kitchen. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. Today's recipe, and I'm going to just get right to it, is for a dark chocolate bundt cake. Oh my goodness, this is moist. This is delicious, and this recipe was born out of inspiration. I have someone that I hold near and dear, and they, asked me about a recipe that they could, maneuver through and make to gift as a thank you for helping them with something that's going on. And, I had to think about it a little while, but who doesn't like chocolate? But without further ado, dark chocolate bundt cake. So this recipe is going to go by really super quick, like my lemon pistachio cake did. And if you missed that, I will drop a link below in the description box along with all of the ingredients, so no worries. But the first thing that you want to do is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I have greased with my chocolate magic pan release. I've greased my pan as well as I could, and I've still got a lot of this going. I obviously haven't been working with chocolate a lot over the past short while, but anyway, I'm pretty sure that this person will appreciate this recipe. But I'll drop a link to this video. This is easy. This will, help you not only save money on the product itself, but you won't have to run out and go and buy stuff. But with that being said, I'm going to preheat my oven. This is greased. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to start with 4 eggs already beaten. And y'all know I like to have them, kind of mixed up ahead of time. 1 cup of vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever it is that you use. 1.5 cups of water. Now, if we were making just a regular, chocolate layer cake, then I might say maybe 3/4 cup of coffee and add enough water to that to make 1.5 cups. But I think this is going to be just fine for this application. And what I'm going to add is I believe this is 18.2 ounce size of a brownie mix. And I'm going to just add that right in. And I have a 15.25 ounce of a cake mix. Any kind of chocolate cake mix that you have. I just happen to clearly like dark chocolate because this is a dark chocolate fudge brownie mix, and this is a dark chocolate fudge cake mix that I just simply had in my pantry. And there y'all go. I think I'm going to make a big old mess as usual, per usual, but you know what? That gives me a chance to clean. As unusual as that sounds, every once in a while it's a good idea to just break it down and say, okay, I got to do this. And I usually do that twice a year in the spring. Certainly in the spring, spring cleaning, but I also do it fall. Right before the house basically gets closed up and you start using heat, I will absolutely start dusting everywhere, wiping walls, dusting, and you name it, moving furniture, vacuuming, and just to make sure you have a good, clean, tidy home. And I'm kind of, even though I seem to have a lot of little clutters here and there, it's clean. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit. And y'all, it is just this easy. You don't really need to add anything to this because, you know, with cake mixes, I mean, you certainly don't need to add an extract or even any chocolate chips to this, because I think this is going to be a really nice, like, piece of cake, so to speak. This actually really only took, maybe 5 minutes to mix this up. And I'm going to just scrape my bowl a little bit and make sure everything from the bottom is there. This looks like a goodly amount of batter, so I'm going to have to may have to make 2 cakes. We have a neighbor that had a baby over the fall and winter, and I think they might like a little cake. My neighbor's gonna get sick of me. No, here she comes. I can hear them now. And I don't know, maybe a little bit more. I think what I'm gonna have to do is get maybe one of my muffin tins. Because look, this makes a lot of batter. Now this is just a regular bundt pan, so this probably would make 1.5 bundt pans, something like that. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab my other bundt pan and whatever is remainder in here, and I'm going to just bake 2 of them off and go from there. What fun. This is going to be great, y'all. So I decided to just brave it out and I put the entire batter in this pan because I didn't want there to be any confusion with y'all. But of course, you want a preheated oven. I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to start checking it at 45 minutes. When you skewer it, whether you use a knife or a wooden skewer or metal skewer, whatever it is that you're using, you want it to come out clean, but it is going to have a few crumbs. The one thing you don't want to do with chocolate is to overbake it. But once it comes out clean with a few crumbs, you should be good. What I've done here is I put my cooling rack here, but I also lined a baking sheet with foil or wax paper or whatever it is that you have, because I'm going to cool it, of course, on my cooling rack. I'm going to turn it out on my cooling rack, and then I'm going to allow it to completely cool on this rack. And the reason for the sheet here is because I'm going to be making a ganache, and I'm going to just pour every bit of ganache that I've made all over this cake. And I certainly don't want the cake to sit in a puddle of chocolate. Wouldn't that be a shame? But anyway, so I baked an extra 10 minutes. That made all the difference in the world. So 55 minutes, and your cake, depending on your oven and a lot of different things, but I checked mine at 45. It took it to 55 before it was done. I'm going to bring this out in just a second. And here we are. This is looking really good. It has a little bit of give. And I'm going to cool this probably 10, maybe 15 minutes, something like that. And then I'm going to turn it out. This is going to turn out perfect because I used my Magic Pan release. And it's going to just come right out and be beautiful. And here we go. I just finished turning it out, and this came out really very nicely. It's still pretty darn hot, but I really feel like my Magic Pan release added, just that little extra coating of chocolate on the outside of it. So I was really super happy to use that. But I'm going to finish allowing this to cool off. But in the interim, we're going to go start on the ganache. I'm going to start on my ganache. I have kind of fashioned a double boiler here, and it is just very, very slightly warm. I'm going to add 12 ounces of whatever kind of chocolate that you have. I have a interesting combination. And I'm going to just allow this to set over this heat, just a very, very slight heat. I do have 1 cup of whipping cream waiting in the wings here. So when this does start, and when I see a little bit of melting happening, I'm going to go ahead and pour this in. But for right now, I'm going to put y'all on pause and see how this goes. So I can kind of see this just starting to melt. I'm going to add my cream in. And I'm going to just let this, you know, whoops, a little low and slow. One thing, you don't want this water boiling up under there. You just want a very slight, just a slight simmer. And I'm going to babysit this until this is smooth and creamy. Well, okay, y'all. I have got this smoothed out, and it looks and smells really very, very nice. The one thing when you're making a ganache like this is to make sure that you scrape the sides of your bowl so, you know, everything here kind of stays happy. I did bring my whisk out to make sure it was going to be smooth, smooth, smooth. And I'm just about ready to pour over the cake. And I think that's probably going to be the next thing that you're going to see. And here we are. I'm getting ready to pour this. I think that y'all can see. I went ahead and transferred this into something a little bit cooler to handle. And I still reserved a little bit on the double boiler, just, you know, just in case. You never know when you might need an extra pour. And this is going to be really, really pretty. It's going to be so tasty and so pretty. Yikes. And there we are. I'm going to just allow this to set and totally cool off. I'm not really sure if I'm going to pour some more. We'll just see. But this is, and I hate to even tip it, but this is what you're going to see. And we will cut into this much later today. I want it to set and just set. I've got my tea poured up, and I'm going to go ahead and cut into this, and let's just see how this cuts, the texture of it. And it came out so pretty. I just love a good ganache. And here we go. Well, wow, it's cutting through really nicely. Very nicely. Let's see. I really, let's see. And here we go. Really so pretty. Let's just lean him right over so you can see the texture of the cake. Very nice texture. That's going to be really good. I'm going to take just one taste. No. Sorry. perfect. Very rich, but it's perfect. That was actually really so easy. Oh my goodness. And I have a piece cut here for y'all to see. I'm going to bring this just a little bit closer. As you can see, the ganache held up really super well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick this up with my hands. It's not something I normally do, but I just want you to see really how moist this is. This is really good. It's really good. So here we go. Like I said, I don't really like to do that, but I know. Anyway, there you go. I had one piece. Oh, sorry, y'all. I had one piece to you know, kind of fall off of here, but very nice. Very nice. Moist cake. The flavor is so good. It's easy. I hope that you give this a try. I'm going to, minus that piece, I'm going to gift this to a neighbor. I don't want this around here. I think, you know, maybe having a piece or two is okay, but for me sitting here with this cake probably would be very dangerous. But if you're enjoying my content, I hope that you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and join me here home at the Hollow. Goodbye, y'all. No, it's